This is 80 Survival. We started out with a small tractor and chainsaw, and the ultimate goal is to have a fully functioning farm with many fields and animals. Hey everybody, Kagarino here. Welcome back to the Pioneers map. Today we're going to be selling all of the veggies we've produced on the farm so far, and then we're going to be purchasing a new baler with that money and getting to work on a few bales for the sheep. Then we're going to be building a brand new storage shed near the sheep pen. After that, we're going to sell up silage and be able to afford these homemade wind generators for the farm. Let's get into it. I'm just in the skid steer here, unloading the trailer that's full of lime. We're going to store it over on this section by the cedar. Even though this shelter is quite large, we're still running out of space for items and being able to pull them in and out. So we definitely look to purchase something to buy these products in the future directly on the farm, like a silo or something like that. I finished up with that trailer, and I'm now over here with the skid steer loading up tomatoes. We got 4 pallets to get onto the trailer. We're going to take those to the sell point as soon as possible because we don't have much money, and I'd like to purchase that baler today. So I grabbed the Massey Ferguson tractor with that trailer that we used before. This was a really good purchase. It's can fit 2 stacks side by side on the trailer, which is really good. So we'll get this first stack right here, which wasn't too difficult. I kind of adjusted it after with the forks. It perfectly lands right on the edge. And we start uploading the other 2 onto each other, and then we'll drive it over to the trailer. I kind of moved the trailer over closer to the lettuce greenhouse, and we get those all stacked. It was a little tricky, but this skid steer is great with the weight, and it has no trouble picking up things that are quite heavy. Let's drop those in. We'll move the trailer again even closer to the silage pit, and we're going to be putting on these lettuce pallets on the back of it. We only have 2, so they can just go right in the middle. So we get those loaded up. I had a little bit more trouble as behind me the dirt is built up and a little bit crazy. This was kind of when I first started using terrain editing, when I started playing Farm Sim. So it's not the best terrain. I've learned how to do it better now. And we get those guys finally together and over to the trailer. And we're just going to park the skid steer over here near the chickens. And as we go by, I'm going to check on the silage pit, see what percentage we're at. And I think we're at 55%, so it'll need to be the next month that we do that. I'd jump in the tractor and head over to the store. Just arriving to the supermarket now and ready to sell up these. I had some trouble with the trigger, so I cut out a lot of this because I had a hell of a time trying to sell these things up. But once that's done, we're up to $8,800. I made it back to town, or our side of town anyways, one of the villages. Gonna fill up the tractor with diesel. It's getting a little bit low. And we're gonna head into the store here and look to buy that baler. I think we have a pretty good sized baler for a good price. So we'll come in here, check out the baler, just look at all our options. There is a square baler for $8,000 right there, but I don't know if that's gonna work. For us, it's pretty small, 49 centimeter bales. And we'll get this press roll baler PRP -1-6, and that does 125 round bales, so that might work. So we take that over here by the sheep. I cut up a lot of grass away from camera here Didn't want to bore us to death with that, as we've done that before. So I cut up all this, and I put a lot of it in the silage pit, but now we're baling up the remainder for the sheep. So I get busy with that. This baler is quite easy. It was hard to get used to because it's not directly behind the tractor, it's off to the side. Which is, once you get used to it, you just follow your windrow on the left side of it, and the baler picks up the grass perfectly. But I was struggling with that, and the beeping's a little annoying, so here I'm just dropping bales. I think we made 5 bales in this field, or this little section of the field. Over here is going to be our primary grass field going forward, kind of more close to our oats field. But there was a tree over here, and I don't want the spruce tree anymore. The spruce trees don't really fit into the South American vibe, but they are on our farm for us to sell and to progress forward in building the rest of the farm up. So I chopped that one down, and it's time to return the baler over to where the sheep live. And like I said in the intro, we're going to build a bit of a shelter over there where we can store the bales and all of our grass care equipment. So the baler, the windrow, and the mower. For now, I think we're going to upgrade that mower pretty soon. If you have a suggestion for what ones to use, I'm not sure if the John Deere Batwing mower is the 80's, but it is the best mower available on the game right now for the price point and the size and the speed of it. But I grab our stump grinder once again, the Massey. We'll bring that over here. We'll get rid of this stump as soon as possible. I jumped out and used the chainsaw to remove that little cut there. And so that's all done and nice and clean, so we have an easy time. And then I come over here and I load up this log, cut it up a few times, and we're going to park the trailer next to these other trees where we'll be cutting very soon once we develop this area a little bit more in the next episode after we do some harvesting, I believe. So we drop that guy here. And I'm back over at the store, and I'm going to purchase a bale spike as we need that. I thought there was a singular bale spike, but that was another mod that I had on another series. So this is the one for the Massey Ferguson skid steer. So we get that. The trailer's there for later. We come back over to the sheep pen, and it's time to build this new shelter. So I install a new mod, some very nice aged buildings, but before I could do that, I had to move all the equipment with the tractor. So we did that quick. Now our ground is all clear and ready to build. So we go in the builder tool, and I just want to flatten this area a little bit more. And I really thought I had done it good enough, but of course the building has a bigger footprint, and it kind of messed up the field. So I took a long time just smoothing out the field and editing that. So we'll find out when we harvest the field if it's smooth enough. So we plunk that down. Nice 3-bay little wooden shed here. And then it's time to pick up all the bales with the Massey. So this Massey is great. I don't know about a larger bale if it only could do one of 180 centimeters, but right now it does really well with the 125 centimeter bales. And so 3,500 liters per bale. We have 7,000 liters of grass, and as we found out last episode, the sheep actually don't eat very much. And we start stacking those in the farthest bay near the sheeps, or near the sheep, and kind of nudge that third one over as it kind of popped out funny, or second one, sorry. This is the third one now. So we grab this guy, and oh, I had to refix a little bit. I didn't like how he got on there, but we'll get another one. So there was 2 trips, so there's 4, and yeah, then there's just this last one. So 5 bales for this little section. So we'll have, what is that? 1,850 liters of grass for sheep. Should cover us for at least 3 months, I think. Could be mistaken, but we'll find out shortly, obviously. So I come and stack those ones up, It's always kind of fun, but I knocked this one over and it took me a little while, but I finally figured out how to flip it with the bale spike. We get that accomplished and kind of park that back over here, and we'll stack the last one on the top of these two, and we'll have a perfect little stack of 5 bales, which will be really nice, and we can grab those top ones easily when it comes time to feed up the sheep. Go back for this last one over here in the field. Still a little bouncy here. We have to straighten out our road eventually, but coming over to the bale now. And yeah, I quite like using the skid steer to do this job. It's a little bit easier to maneuver than the tractor, as you can do those 360 turns and whatnot. So we get that one stacked up into the garage there, and we'll park the skid steer right in front of these bales, as we won't need it for now. We're going to sell some silage later, and we'll need it for the bucket, but we'll turn it around and we'll park it in here. And then I'm going to take the tractor, it's just parked over there, and we'll get these implements parked up inside the shed here, or equipment I should say. Not the best at backing up equipment yet. Most of these things are, the dollies are the worst things, but these ones are all just regular 2-wheeled attachments. So we'll get that hooked up and back up, and I took a long time trying to figure this all out. Not the smoothest with backing up, as I said, like I haven't been playing the game for ages, so something to get better at over time. Park the baler on this side next to the windrow. Might have to use a little cheat super strength to adjust things so they fit, and so we can pull them out in order when we need to use them later. Of course, we're going to be using the mower first, then the windrow, then the baler, and last use the skid steer there to pick up the bales and put them into the sheep pen here so they have nice fresh grass. But I'm grabbing the water tank here, unfilling a little bit. There's like 400 liters or something. They don't need too much, but they needed more than what we had there, so I gotta take this guy over to the river. I built that little kind of road that goes right down to the river. We can bring in the tractor into the water there and fill up the tank. So we'll go do that. As well as after I do the sheep, I'm gonna top up the greenhouses and make sure everything that needs water has water. I think maybe we'll try to upgrade to maybe a water tanker truck or something. There's a couple older mods. If you have one in mind when you're listening here, comment down below and let me know so I can look, or just tell me to look in the mod hub section there for water tanks or whatever it's under. I think it's under animal tools. So yeah, I'll look into that, and something we can buy in the future. Obviously, I'm not sure how much money we're going to make from our 2 harvests that we're going to be doing next episode. It will kind of depend on what we purchase with that. Maybe a new harvester, because it's getting big fields, and that harvester is pretty small, but we'll make do with what we got to purchase priority items first, obviously. And maybe that won't be the priority here. A little bit tricky to find the trigger in this sheep pen. I'm not sure why. Yeah, it's gonna go back and forth a bit. Eventually I find the right trigger section here, and I unload the tank. And I unload the tank there. See, we have 39% left in there, so we'll come take that over to the greenhouses. I did a whole bunch of loads, and just gonna park the old water tanker here, and we're gonna take the tractor. And I think after we check out the silage, see what percentage it's at. It's at 77, so probably going to skip a month here, but I figured we should feed the chickens. They're getting a little low. So I grabbed the Massey and the Maston blue trailer here. Bring that over to our silo, or 1 grain silo here. We're going to fill it up with sorghum. Let's check how much we got here. I think we have about 1,785 liters, so we'll take a little bit of that. Only tiny amounts of 430, or is that only 43? I don't know. It's not very much though. And we kind of I'm trying to back it in here. I got these fences. They're actually not part of the chicken coop. So I put them in there because I thought they looked nice, but I'm going to delete them as they're just getting in the road here. And, you know, we really need to upgrade our chickens as they're barely producing enough eggs to even bother selling. So we finally get that in position, the trailer, unload it. It's the quickest unload I've ever done in a trailer. And now I'm just taking the new tractor here, and we're going to pick up the mast and we're going to take it over to the store as I realized, oh yeah, I have the silage, you know, upgrade for that trailer for free. And I have to take the Massey skid steer here with the bucket. Just gotta load quickly, and then we'll finish upgrading that trailer with the free customization because I already purchased it with that when we first got it. So now it can hold 27,000 liters of silage instead of 14,000, I believe. So that's really helpful, and of course we built a little platform so we don't struggle hitting it. We take the Massey and we're gonna fill that guy up. Works pretty well. I enjoy doing this little part on the farm with our little silage setup here. So I'm gonna get that loaded up, and then we're gonna head over to the store. So I'm back after selling that silage. We're up to $15,000 at the farm, so that's pretty good. And I'm gonna get busy loading up another load here, but we're gonna do it in first person. It's pretty fun. If you've ever got to do this, I highly suggest just playing around with silage in first person, loading up trailers. It's a lot of fun. And I do realize that I have been doing this without the weight on the back of the tractor, at least earlier. I'm not sure about if we may have installed it again here, but we were missing that, and that's kind of why I was struggling a bit. And yeah, that totally makes sense. Make sure you have your weight when you're picking up 3,000 liters of silage. But I grabbed the tractor in first person. It's really fun. It's really dirty in this thing. Maybe we need to get a garden hose here and wash in the inside. Try not to break the electronics, but bring another load of silage. Yeah, 27,000 liters here. We're gonna get that emptied real quick. And now we're up to $27,871, which is fantastic. I'm gonna add some fuel to this tractor in the next day or two. It's getting a little low. But I bring that back over here, and still got a bit more silage to take out of the pit here. Probably half of the trailer. So I'll get busy with that after this dump. I just love using this little wedge of concrete to help us get a higher elevation to load the trailer. I'm wondering about upgrading the silage pit to something bigger and moving this section of the farm over and whatnot. But I bring you back over here, and I did purchase the homemade wind generators off screen here. Unfortunately, forgot to record. But here's the one. I think is $620 a month. This one's $300 something, and this guy is $800 per month. So we're gonna be bringing in some revenue now, almost $2,500 per month just from passive income, and now we can add some power to the farm and the buildings and whatnot. But take care, have fun, and stay safe. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more. You can check out the full playlist of the series right here.